Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 6 Reunion Part 1. Now, we know this reunion is going to be 4 parts. I hope all 4 parts is worth it. They said that Nicki Minaj part of the reunion will be part 4, but we don't know if it's gonna be a full part 4, like a full hour of that, but we shall see. But y'all know first things first to make sure to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, dun, and whatnot. Okay, y'all know to subscribe to this channel, to my backup channel. It is always greatly appreciated. Okay, the link to subscribe to Jaylee's Corner Talk is always in the description box below every single video. Okay, y'all know to do all these things. Liking and commenting and sharing and relaxing and centering yourself and inhaling. Yes, please and thank you. Please and thank you. Okay. You can also follow me on social media at Jaylee's Corner. Okay. That's it. Just Jaylee's Corner. That is where I am everywhere. Okay. I'll be popping in and out of frame because sometimes StreamYard is a bit messy and freezes things, and sometimes I don't like to be froze, okay? But y'all know, let's get into what's going on. So the theme this year for the reunion was Goddess, okay, based off Mia's Goddess theme party earlier this season. Now all the women are there. Okay, now they brought a scholar out later on, but I did not feel like adding her in later. So again, she's here right now, even though she was out on stage for half of the reunion. So we see the C team, we see that Wendy and Giselle are sitting next to Andy. I want to admit, if Mia was a second or third season in, I fully believe she would have been on the other seat and not Giselle, because this season was really about Mia. Okay, Mia and Candace fussing with whoever. Even though Wendy had a storyline as far as her surgery and them coming at her about the surgery, if Mia was not a first season, she would have at least gotten the seat next to Wendy or the seat next to Giselle, okay? Because Karen didn't have much, okay, to truth be told, and whatnot. And of course, it's got us on end because she was a friend of. Now, Robin and Ashley, they could have been friends of. They did not give much this season at all. Did not give much this part of the reunion either, but we're going to let that be. But again, the ambiance of the room looks nice with the theme. Okay, look close up of the ladies. We've already discussed their looks from before. I will say, sitting down, everyone looks nice sitting down. Even Giselle. And that's hard to say because sometimes Giselle looks like a fool, okay? Candace's dress looked better sitting down because you couldn't see most of it, okay? That weirdness in the middle wasn't shown here. So again, the sitting down looks great. On the other end of the couch, we have these four. Wendy's boobs look heavy, okay? They look like on pop. Okay, don't pop now. Keep them in there. A scholar's dress looks much better here than it did in the photos that we seen online earlier. So I like her dress now more than I did before. I also like Mia's dress more. Seeing the close up detailing around the breasts and whatever, okay? But again, fine. But again, they're all here, okay? So I'm gonna be popping in, popping off. But yeah, these are the 8 people who was around here, okay? Now, when they asked Giselle in the beginning about her style choices, and how are you working out with your stylist or whatever? Giselle told us that she's been working with the same stylist since season 1, okay? She has not changed stylists, and it is what it is. I was like, girl, fire them. What is wrong with you? Why have you not realized they are a horrible stylist? Giselle's clothes be looking crazy. Her wigs look cheap. I mean, just fix it or something, okay? Fire them and just hire somebody else, okay? Now they do get into, hey, what did y'all think about me this season or whatever? Now Giselle brought up, we had a rocky starts, but I appreciate the fact that she owns her shit, okay? She will stand up for what she's done, and it's fine in my eyes. Now Candace then said, well, I liked her at first, okay, but I figured out that she lies about everything. I'm like, everything? I don't think she lied about everything or whatever. And Mia lets it be known, like, look, okay, because she brings up how she think, Mia lied about her clit or whatever. And Mia said, look, I had a lot of work done. And when I asked my surgeon about it or whatever, as far as the name of the surgery she had on her for JJ, she said her surgeon said, look, it's all in the same area. It's not even a big deal. They need to grow up because who was up here fussing about what a person had done if they had anything done to their hoo ha? Leave my hoo ha alone or whatever. I think Ashley then said, but then you had three, then you have like a C-section. A C-section. So if you did, why would you have your vajayjay refreshed, as Mia called it? And Mia said, because I have a lot of sex. Okay. Me and my husband do it a whole bunch of whatever, and I just wanted my pocketbook, okay, my vagina refreshed. What is the big deal in that? Now, when Wendy old childish ass gonna say, but your favorite position is missionary. Okay. And it was like, what does that mean? Like, so what? If that's the favorite position. And me say, yeah, that's not our only position. I just don't get how missionary, can beat it. I'm like, missionary can for sure beat up a cooch. Okay, look, Eddie must not clearly be cleaning cobwebs from Wendy in that position. Cause I'm like, that's a definite beat it, girl. That's head on collision. What are you talking about or whatever? But again, to me, it just shows how they continually don't like Mia for many reasons of their own, which everybody has their opinion. But again, I'm looking like, girl, why are you complaining or even questioning her having her cooch refreshed when you had your whole body refreshed? Wendy had her body refreshed. And when they tried to say, well, maybe that you have like a mommy makeover, and no, that's not, no. Wendy, we know you did. We know you had your ass done, you had some lipo, you had your boobs done. Some say that they think Wendy had her nose done. Do y'all think she had her nose done? Y'all think that? I don't know. But anyway, leave the lady alone about her surgery or whatever. And I was like, girl, let's just move on from that. Now they do ask me about being a stripper. Okay, what about that? What about your stripping, Mia? What about that? Well, she admits that yes, I worked in a high-end, upscale men's club. Okay, now Candace called it a lobster and steak joint. I say not lobster and steak. Okay, anyway, but Giselle said, well, no, I've heard of it before. It's in North Carolina, and from what I've heard, Gordon was like a high roller or like a top dog down there. And Mia explained that Gordon, he did help build. He helped build the VIP section of the establishment or whatever. This men's club. Now this is my thing. Can't even pop back on screen. It's weird to me that these well-off women act like they're not aware that there are high-end strip joints. I'm like, I feel like even the lowest of the low people know there are high-end strip joints that the lowest of the low want to work at to not have to do so much for so little. So I find it weird that they make it seem as if I don't even know how Mia can be insinuating that she wasn't on a pole sucking or something, or she wasn't just doing things strange with the change. I'm like, it's not a big deal or whatever. And she brings up how, between her and Gordon, it was not love at first sight. Um, but after her earthquake in Haiti, and her best friend, who's Haitian, was affected, Gordon helped the best friend start some kind of organization or help her organization get help back there in Haiti. So it's like she's like, I realized, okay, he's like a nice guy, or whatever, and we started dating from there. Now she do mention, the men's gentleman club, okay, that she worked at. That was a high end men's club. They also had shoe shining people because she said how Gordon would come in and be barefoot. They're like, why he got no shoes on? She's like, well, he would leave his shoes with the shoe shine person, and then walk about the club or whatever. But they had a shoe shine station. They had makeup artists, hairstylists, massage therapists, a chiropractor person who come work their backs out in the cigar line. So it was an upper echelon of a strip. But I'm like, that's normal. That's normal. They have these rich, sedity, okay, high end places. And when Mia bring it was a high end strip club. When Andy then say, well, did it have a champagne room? Wendy then says under her breath, will they have sex? I'm like, Wendy, shut up. Wendy was throwing underhanded shots the whole reunion. And not that I minded it, but I'm like, this ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, you tossing shots at everybody? Okay. I feel like, and people were saying now. People were saying now, Wendy did not have a storyline this season besides Giselle and Robin making her surgery a storyline. Other than that, they said she had nothing else going on. I was like, well, nope, that's the truth. Anyway, but Robin then brings up how will it sound like it's like a spy. This has all these things you can do while you're there. And I'm like, yes. Because that's what rich folk do, and not rich people in general or whatever. Now, Candace didn't say, yeah, a spy that has titties and ass. Yes, a spy that has titties and ass. Look, it's aggravating to me that people like won't accept that there can be high end strip clubs. Like all strippers are not low class hookers who fuck with a bucket in dirty back rooms. And it just feels like they think anyone who used to be a stripper has to be from that caliber of place. You have to be this low down, low budget, uh uh loop dancing strip club in the backwoods of the backwoods and sucking for a buck. And I'm like, that's not where Mia came from. But she was a stripper, okay? Now she brings like it was champagne room or whatever, but there was no like closed off location, behind back door. No, it was another section to get VIP service, but it's like not no secrets. It wasn't that. And I'm like, why can't y'all accept that? Why not? The same way you go to a nail salon or hair salon. And some places have more than just getting your hair or nails done. They have massage places. They have, you can get a facial. They have all these other things because you want people to come there and get everything from you. It's smart. It's business. So why try to bust her down to be a bust down heifer? I don't know, but it makes me mad or whatever. Now, Andy asked if she ever took her clothes off. And she said, well, yeah, I did. I wore gowns like this and I would take the gowns like this off and I would be like in some boy shorts. So yes, I don't think Mia ever meant that she wasn't a stripper. I think her thing was the way y'all are expressing yourself and what y'all think a stripper is. I did not do that. I was on a bust them down in the pank, okay, working for Uncle Clifford type of stripper. But I did whatever. But it's like, girl, can I be that be? I don't like the slut shaming of people who may be exotic dancers and to try to make them feel like, okay, you ain't nothing but a high price hoe. It's like, no, leave that be or whatever. Now they do speak on Mia's mom, and when they do, Candace brings up, well, my mom was praying for Mia. Oh, no, girl. Mia says my mom was praying for Candace or whatever. But, me and my mom have gotten to a better place. And, my mom is actually right now at the house with the kids. So, again, it's a good thing that her and her mama are better off now. Now, when the fan questions, Mia saying how she's self-made. We don't think you're self-made because your husband handed you the businesses or whatever. And she said, well, no, that's not what happened. I'm gonna pop another picture on screen just because I like to have other things on screen when I'm talking. But again, well, that's not Mia. I'll do a Mia picture. But again, Mia brings up, I will know, G was an investor on another business she had or another other stuff, okay, but not the specific business that she has now, the chiropractic offices. She brings about, I have 8 franchises. His name was on 2 of them, okay. But at the end of the day, I had to qualify to even have the business regardless of G's involvement or whatever. She said he owns some McDonald's franchises or whatever, and he had sold out of those. And then she had a massage interview business, which he didn't invest in before they got married. But again, it was her business before they got married, and he didn't give her anything. He just kind of helped her with it. And I get what she meaning you can't take away what I did before I got with him and say he already had these things and just gave them to me. No, he helped invest in what I already had. So I am still self made. So get off my back, Jack, okay? And when a fan asks, why you flip flop so much between who you like and or you don't like, IG, just IG, girl, IE Giselle, And I liked her answer. Okay, I did. She said, I speak from where I am in the moment. If I like you today, I like you today. But if I have an issue with you the following day, I'm going to say that too. Okay. And if you being shady, I'm going to say, hey, I don't like that bullshit. I think Mia needs to learn to not speak up too soon. Feel things out and then speak up. People, because when you do say different things on different occasions, you do seem fake. But I can also say if you like somebody one day and do not like the next, that's okay too. You change your mind. Just don't change your mind back after that. But again, it is what it is. So they asked, no, Giselle said she felt like Karen was in Mia's ear, helping her flip flop, whatever. Put up this little picture. And I was like, is she flip flopping? Is she flip flopping? Because again, both Candace and Giselle feel a kind of way about Mia. But when Karen say, well, no, Mia's a grown woman. Okay, now I'm a grown woman. She do what she want to do. I do what I want to do. Neither one of us have a codependent relationship. Okay, unlike Robin and Giselle, meaning me and Mia can both coexist at the same time and not need each other to be around each other. Whereas Giselle and Robin, for sure, are codependent upon each other. And it's kind of aggravating because it's like they don't be giving shit. They don't. And I'm like, we do not need Giselle and Robin back next season. We know for a fact they would not get rid of Giselle, even though she don't never have no real storyline, but they can really get rid of Robin. Okay, you really can. Now they get on Giselle. And I'll leave this up. And Giselle, they're asking her, well, who was that fake man you was dating at the end of the season when you brought up at Karen's viral that you was dating some correspondent from DC or whatever. Now, she won't say who he was, just that they are no longer dating, okay? That's not him no more and whatnot. Now, Winnie then say, well, I know someone who told me he dated her, but I don't know if he's the same person that she was recently with. Now I think Candy said was it Van Jones, and just oh he's a nice person is what Giselle said. Honey, when he said no, he would not date her because she's not his type. Uh, she basically said Giselle ain't shit. Okay, the integrity. She doesn't have integrity. I was like, well, I guess she don't. Now when they get to Giselle and will your house ever be finished and be cohesive? It's like no. Giselle and Robin can say all they want. Oh, well, the house is coming together. It's getting better. No, it's not. The house would never be the same. The house is putting up. If you have a Volvo car and you cut the Volvo back half off and put a Pinto on it, Giselle cut up that house and added pieces that did not belong. Okay, she's up here playing Jenga with that damn house. No one is gonna fall down. Okay, is you playing Jenga? Is it Connect Four? I don't know. All I know is she don't own Park Place or Boardwalk, and it's some bullshit. Okay, let's move on. Now, when they add Giselle, hey Giselle, when did you and Jamal break up? Okay, when did that happen? I was like, yeah, when was that? Let us know. We want to know when did you and Jamal end things? Okay, now Giselle, spring, summer, around September. It's like, you don't know. How do you not know when you broke up with somebody who it was the last person you dated? Hot girl, she did not. I don't know. It was, winter, fall, around March. It's like, ma'am, no, that's not what it is. Now all she said was it was after the holidays, maybe late January, maybe February, maybe. I'm like, bitch, what holiday? What holiday is it? After Christmas? Like, okay, was it December 31st? Was it January 5th? What was it? Okay. Now, when like the math is a mathing, okay, that does not add up because again, this happened and that happened over. Jamal made an interview in December. Okay, in his interview, he said that he was single. And they put up December 17th, Jamal Jamal interview. I'm like, Jamal did. He really did say that. Well, that's not what he told me. Okay. What he said to me was, okay, what he meant was he's not married. Okay. He did not mean he was like, no, it seemed like he was saying y'all ain't together. That's what it seemed like to us. And she's like, well, no, that ain't what he told me. Because you're both lying, Giselle. You're a liar. And we all know it. Because, girl, the math doesn't math. Okay. You were not together at the reunion. Okay, it just wasn't happening or whatever. Okay, now when they bring up how well, last reunion, the whole binder thing mentioned the stuff that Jamal was doing, how he was up there cheating on you. What do you have to say about that, Giselle? Well, the info in the binder wasn't new information to me. Okay, we had already talked about it. Okay, we had already discussed those things, so it wasn't a shock. Oh, oh, but if you knew at that point, why didn't you say that? Let me know. We are all wondering. Let us know what went on there. Okay. Now Giselle is always caught, looking like she looked dumb. Basically, she looked dumb. Okay. And then when Karen then says, so you agreed was okay with being the other woman because if you knew he would date other people, then you just agreed to be somebody else. She's like, well, no, that's not what happened. We were both seen. Look, we were figuring it out. We were figuring it out. I'm like, no, you were right. Jamal was seeing other people because he wasn't with you, and that's what happened. Okay. Now, when Giselle then say, no, they asked Giselle, why are you so vocal and inquiring about everybody else's relationships when it comes to you and Jamal? You never discuss what's going on with y'all. She's like, no, I discuss things. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't at all, okay? And she brought up how I have been open and honest with everyone here about things between me and Jamal. They're like, no, Candace, even Candace said, well, Giselle, that's not true. Okay. You are never like as vulnerable with the conversation as you should be because sometimes you're full of shit, Giselle. And I was like, let her know she's full of shit and we don't like it or whatever. But again, when he then brings up how, well, no, you deflect. Okay. You deflect. And then what happens is you put up a barrier. You deflect, put up a barrier because if you were honest about what you were going through, you would be, you would break down. I'm looking like, damn, Wendy, just read her. I do feel like I do feel like Giselle never discusses things in real life or discusses real situations. Now, even though she may have said one thing or two things about this, that, or the other, she never has really. I think season one, she talked about Jamal because at that point she had to say he was out here cheating on me, whatever, and I left him. But since then, I don't think she discussed anything that has gone on with them as far as her being open about the things that we've seen come out recently about him. And then when Andy asked her, well, once you found out about him cheating the first time or whatever, you then took him back. And he then cheated again. Like, did you cry about it? Like, were you sad? And she's like, well, no, because when somebody does something the first time, it hurts. The second time, it doesn't hurt as much, so I did not cry. She said she's not much of a crier. That she did cry when they got divorced. But other than that, what I'm saying, it wasn't much. Now here come Robin. We have to understand that Giselle is, not everyone, reacts to things the same way. Not everyone does what everyone else think they should do. Now when Robin said, oh really? Oh really, Robin? Really? When I'm like, Wendy again was popping in them. I think Wendy was happy to be in that first seat because she did not know that she was gonna be sitting next to Andy till she walked out. So I do wonder if she got, I'm saying, kind of the big head or whatever, that she was in, the first seat. So I don't know. But she was popping in and popping out, saying whatever. But I think her point to Robin was, y'all be the first ones, talking shit if somebody don't react how y'all think they should react. You and Giselle do that shit all the time. So how can you now act like, oh, well, let's not get on Giselle for her not doing what we think she should do, but y'all get on other people for the exact same reasons. So her point was valid, and Robin, shut the fuck up, okay? Robin, we don't need you. Because again, Robin didn't say shit at all this whole reunion, besides that one time. And I'm not, because she got to be her girlfriend. So Annie then asked a viewer question was it to Karen? Yes, asking Karen why she was going at Giselle based on Jamal, being a whole cheater. And I loved Karen's answer. Okay. I feel like Karen was like, well, first of all, I went at Giselle for her grown woman decisions. Okay, it had nothing to do with what Jamal did, but about the decisions Giselle made as an adult to get back with him. I think she should have never got back with him, because she's better than that. Okay, I think she did it because she was lonely when he was his familiar. I'm like, yes, she wanted that old thing back, but I still feel like it wasn't a real let's get back together. I don't believe that like at all. I think her whole thing was I can say we get back together and then it'll sound good and then possibly it can be good for the storyline and people won't figure out that you're really out here fucking other people, okay? But again, I agree with Karen. She should not have fakely got back with Jamal. Now when Andy asked, well, hey, what about Jamal on $800,000 in back taxes? I said, oh, back taxes? What are you gonna say? How does it feel to owe $800,000? Now Giselle makes it clear that I don't owe that, he does. Okay, my taxes are paid. Okay, I'm good. But Karen said, well, no, 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 because you were married to him in 2008, and if any of the tax stuff is from when y'all were married, they could come for you. Just get a lawyer just to be sure that you are good. I'm good. I'm good. My taxes are paid. I was like, well, are you sure? Okay, are you sure? Now, Andy brought up how, well, for one, if y'all owe back tax or if he does, that might still affect y'all children. Okay. I was like, you never know. And no, me and the girls are fine. Okay. I was able to buy a house. I'm like, girl, but can you fix it? Okay. You've been fixing a damn house for so long. What's the tea? Sister, okay, I bought my own house, but you can't build it on you building a monstrosity, okay, and it's the reason you can't afford more work is because of the taxes. Let us know because we're wondering what's going on here. But then we get to Candace's segment. And it was a long segment if you ask me. Do I have a picture of Candace? Let me see what I have, y'all. Let me see. I don't remember. Um, I'll leave this one up because of what I feel. Now, they ask her, did you make Chris your manager? Is he managing you now? I would like to put this one up so that she's not crying yet. And she brings up how, Chris is not really managing my career, okay? He's managing me and what I'm doing, okay? And well, are you paying him? Is he getting checks? Well, I pay him in love. And when Mia said, you know, paying someone in sex is considered being a prostitute, I said, bitch, see that shade, okay? And Ken, well, you would know. And she said, yes, I would, because I speak of things I know. See, I like the fact that Mia can handle the shade back and forth, and it's not too lowbrow. It's a good comeback, and I like the whole thing. That thing between her and Candace. It was funny to me. So he then asked if anyone else thinks Chris is riding Candace's coattails, how Giselle feels. And he's asking, the viewer questions. And Ashley then said, we do think that, well, no, we know that his restaurant was affected, okay, with the pandemic or whatever, and so it does seem like he lost his confidence, okay? A little bit it seemed like he lost his footing. Now, that's true because if anybody had their own little business or whatever and they could not work anymore, it would affect them one way or the other. And she then said, so he's drinking more, he's gained some weight, and he isn't the same Chris we knew before. She's like, well, that's not true, said Candace. You know what I'm saying? Chris always drinks like that. What do you mean? First of all, stop calling your husband an alcoholic. At least after he tried to say he was drinking more because of the pandemic, you can say, no, you always drink that much. I was like, girl, I guess so. Anyway, so he asked, is Chris and or your mom name on the deed to the new house? And she said, my name is on it, and so it's Chris's name. My mother's name was not on the deed, even though she tried to imply that she had something to do with the house. She did not. I'm like, I don't fully believe that. Look, I don't think her mom is still paying the bills at the house, but I do wonder, did you borrow some money from her or something? I don't know. Now, Giselle then mentions how Dorothy was the one who came to each lady at the video shoots. And she was the one talking about Candace and about Chris. And that why Mia did ask a question, she did that because Dorothy was already saying stuff to everybody. So why are you so mad at us when you see it was your mama? Okay, it was your mama who was doing shit around here. And I was like, yes, how does it feel? Let us know. And I feel like Giselle was trying to let her know you get mad at the wrong people. It's your mama. Okay, it's your mama who did the majority of the bullshit or whatever. Now, Candace explains like for her, that she had to put her mom like on timeout. Like her and her mom and Chris are not talking right now based on what happened on the show. And that, she was saying what her mom was saying wasn't right. And when it came to her husband, her mama was on some bullshit. And I do feel like we all knew that Mama Dorothy was doing too much, saying too much. But she's always been like that when it came to Chris. She's always downplayed him and down talked him in many different ways. The couple seasons they've been on the show. So I ain't surprised or whatever. So the funny part was what Mia said, and I fully agree. Mia said a real friend would have told Candace what her mom was saying versus what I said. And I was like, that's true. And when Wendy then said, you talking? Shut up. I'm like, Wendy, what? Wendy was to me was mad this whole reunion, and I didn't get why yet because they hadn't really got on her yet. So I was like, what's going on? But what Mia said was true. When Giselle said her mom was going to all of us saying things, Wendy knew this too. Okay. So Mia's point was she made it her point to go say to Candace, I asked a question, however, but she did not tell her, your mama over there saying all kind of rude shit about your husband. A real friend would have said that. And I agree. Don't tell me what the one person who I don't really know that well is asking me. What the fuck is my mama saying? A lot? Okay, let me cuss her ass out. I'm gonna leave that be. So um he then asked Andy asked, well, how did Chris feel, watching the show? And she, oh honey, where the Kleenex at? Where's that? I got fan crying, let me find crying Candace. Boom, she's right there. She's like, he was really hurt. Okay. My family won't be the same. I don't know what to do or how to fix it because her husband is pissed that her mom was on national television talking cash shit about him. As a wife, I don't want my husband hurt by my mom. I cursed my mom out in a way I shouldn't have, okay? But my in-laws watch this show, and I have to watch how my mama insult my husband. And then I don't feel like I'm accepted. I don't feel like the family, girl, tears galore, okay? Tears galore. And this is the thing, I get why she's upset, but I also feel like Candace has always known her mama to be this way. And I think she takes her frustrations out on other people based on how her mom makes her feel. Okay, for one. And she has every right to be pissed off and hurt by seeing what her mom did. But you do not have the right to take that anger out on everyone else around you once y'all fussing about shit. Your mama ain't shit, Candace. Yes, she is. Your mama ain't shit. Let's call a spade a spade. Your mama ain't shit around here. And once you accept that and move on from it, and do not allow your mom to be involved in the show. Because you see, when your mom come on here and she embarrasses you and your husband and herself, and it hurts your marriage. So do not allow your mom on the show. That's the kicker right there. Just don't have her ass around here, okay? Now they get to the whole low budget video comment. And look, when Mia said, look, I felt like it was low budget because there was no organization. And Candace was like, first of all, the point of it all was not to like, care to the extras, okay? And Mia made a point and asked Robin, you want video shoots? Isn't there usually organization, on these shoots? And Robin said, well, yeah, it is, okay? And that's true. And Mia like, look, you spent $10,000 on a video. That is low budget, but there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think saying it was low budget meant it was a bad production. It meant you didn't spend much money on it. It was not much organization, but hey, you came out with a great product or a great video. I don't know because I didn't fully watch it, but people told me it was good. Okay, boom, pow, pow. But again, her point was it was low budget, but that's okay. But Mia said it in a shady way too. So Candace had a reason to be upset. But my girl, it doesn't really matter. So now they did ask the scholar, um, you called me a messy or rude, asking Dorothy a question, but you met Karen on the first time or whatever and asked her if she was an alcoholic based on what Robin said. So how is that not rude too? I feel like she didn't answer the question. Her said, well, I think I should have, maybe not asked her in front of other people. But I'm just direct, so I'll ask questions directly or whatever, But I'm like, pop me kettle. Mia said the exact same thing. Y'all call her messy, but I'm leave that be. The whole damn show is messy. So, Candace, they asked Candace if she knew about Mia's mom, her mom's past. Well, no, I had no idea. Had I known, she had this trauma, I'm like, no, 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 no. You should just not do those things. Wait, first of all, I want y'all to like my video. I needed some water. Anyway, so Mia again said now her mom should not have needed to have any kind of trauma for Candace not to speak on her. And with Candace, like, what in the black community, saying your mom was a joke. You know what I'm saying? So I was going light on her, you know what I'm saying, but she was not grateful for me going light. I'm like, oh, here we go. So at this point in time, Giselle wants to hold, her accountable for her actions or whatever. And she's like, when you go too far, okay, and how did you watch this season and watch those scenes and feel justified in how you responded to her? And my thing is, I've always said I didn't have an issue with Candace being upset at Mia saying, your video shoot is low budget. Break it down here. My issue was always the fact that Mia says something about Candace, and Candace then went to her mama. And I'm like, to me, that's not fair. If I say something about you, stick to me, bitch. Okay. Anyway, Andy then asked her, how was the way you respond to people working for you? You were almost attacked last year. Now, a lot of people were upset or had a comment about Andy saying, you were almost attacked last year and kind of blaming Candace for her own for what happened. Blame, well, not blame, just asking Candace if she feels responsible for the way things happen when she's involved or whatever. And so it was my fault I was attacked. He's like, well, you're the common denominator. You're the common denominator. I'm saying, Candace made a point in saying everybody says, bottom of the barrel that stuff. Everybody says this and that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I get more heat because I'm better at the back and forth than anybody else. And Karen said, no one's as best is as good as me in jail. I think Candace doesn't get, no one minds the back and forth. I think people's issue is always how far they feel she goes on things. Okay, I do think Karen and Giselle has learned to spar back and forth without hitting too far below the belt, and they always end up being able to have a conversation. And with Candace, I don't think anyone feels like that's what she does, but that's on them. And when Andy brings up, it was a burnout situation with Ashley, then the fight with Monique, and then now the situation with Mia, and Kim is gonna say if you can't handle how I talk to you, that's on them. And Giselle brings up how you toss a salad. Okay, you toss a whole words picture. You toss the salad or whatever. It doesn't matter how much you threw. You toss it at her first. Had she hit you based on that situation, I would not have been able to defend you, okay? And I never start anything. I respond to the disrespect I get. Okay, that is what happens. Then she pulls out a tissue and gets the crown or whatever. My girl, here comes the tears. Okay, now Giselle made a good point. I just want you to be able to pull yourself back. Okay, when you went too far, because I see you going too far, and it's not fully you. Like, it's you, but you're so mad that you're not even, you're not there. Okay, and you need to stop doing that. And so Candace kind of accepts that and leaves it be, but she then goes on to say how what she did not like this season was Mia saying if her mom relapsed, it would be Candace's fault. If your mom relapses, that's on you for bringing her on the show, okay, as your storyline, because you should be ashamed of yourself for, having your mom be your storyline. I'm like, Candace, your mom has been your storyline your whole life. I feel like Candace saying Mia used her mom, I don't think it's true. I like Mia saying, well, no, my mom wanted to come on with me because she wanted to inspire people based on what she's accomplished, from where she was and where she is now. But you would not understand that. And I agree with that. I said before, people have to realize you can want to have people with you on the show who've been through some shit and want to show I overcame it. And that can be that. But I feel like Candace can't make it seem like Mia used her mom, and so whatever happens is Mia's fault. It's like you and your mom are beefed out now based on y'all being on the show. So I'm like, hot meat kettle. But that where it goes off. It was a good part one. Okay, I was surprised that they had so much content in part one. It really makes me wonder what is the next three parts going to be. Because I was like, girl, it's a whole lot. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy. Do not forget to like the video, comment in the comment section, follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner. But other than that, I am all done. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
World on my shoulders, so filled with stress.